All right, this is part 2. I'm sorry. Hopefully Bev will see that I restarted. And I might send her a quick little message on the Book of Faces. I don't know why the Book of Faces is so angry. They're angry, right? They're so funny. How they can just take your live away. Just gonna send her a message, and then we're gonna create these pages. All right. Let me see. Share it again. Okay. Hopefully this will work. I don't know what's going on. The Book of Faces has been doing this to me, even at the radio station. I'm not sure why, but it's not fun. It's no bueno. No bueno. All right. I'm just going to try to make sure I can see the comments so that I can keep up with everyone. All right. So here's what we're doing. So I cut out all of these pages. To me, this is just something really small. Maybe something that you give to your daughter or your niece or your friend. They can jot down some scriptures, some notes, some things that they have to do. It could be like you're planning an event and your grocery list, just something so simple and so quick. And I think it will be super, super fun. I'm trying to see if I want to add, this could be a pocket. This could be a pocket. So I'm trying to see how I want to do it. And, okay. I'm just putting all of these papers together, but this is going to be, I want to see how I want to do this. Okay. I think this helps to make it nice and sturdy. And once I get it all together, then I can go ahead and, hey Kathy, and I can cut it out better. So I'm not going to worry about the shapes. And honestly, most of the time I like papers to come out and fall out. But normally I make my covers a little bit bigger, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted it all to be the same size and try something different. So what I want to do first is I'm going to put my 2 covers. Oh, let me put this down. I'm going to put my 2 covers to the side. And what I'm going to do is create hinges. So like I have a couple that are, ready to go. But these 2 are singles. So what I want to do is I want to take all of my scraps that I have used in the past to cut out my different journals. And I'm going to create some hinges. So I'm going to put this up here. And I'm going to put these 2 together. And let me see what it looks like half. Might not want this big. I probably don't. But I don't know if you have ever done a journal like this before. Let me know in the comments. Have you created baddie alert? Okay. I don't know what that means, but so see, what I'm going to do is we're going to hinge these 2 together. And so there's not any sewing. So if you don't like sewing or you've never sewn before, if you get confused by that, or you don't want to do it like that, like I said, this is one way that you can, I want to put all my pages here, you can go ahead and create a journal just using paper. So I'm just going to use my glue stick and my our glitter glue, and I'm just going to put this on the edge, and then I'm going to do the same thing here. Probably should have Well, I'll just go ahead and do it. And just gonna glue this up. And see, they're not even lining up because I think I cut these differently, separately. I'm not even worried about that. No, I'm just learning about journals. Oh, that's awesome. And you know, what's great is that we are doing the journal, friendship journal, which I'm on the 4th week, and I'm having so much fun. So I'm just going to be gluing. I probably should to not use all my art glitter glue. I'm just going to put this on the edges. And then I'm going to cut everything out at the end. So I'm just lining it up. See, and it creates pages, which will be really cool once you open it. There's so many different ways to creating, I keep forgetting, to creating journals. You can, like I said, you can sew this in. Normally I wouldn't. I should have probably cut this a little bit. But I'm just going to show you that there's no right or wrong way. And it's super, super fun to have these little journals that you make and you gift to people. Like, how cool is that? I'm going to let that air dry a little bit. Leave that there. And then I'm going to put these two together. That's probably a little bit better. Let's see what it looks like if I cut this in half. Let's see. Let's see if we like that better. It might be a little bit better. It wasn't so much of a half, but that's okay. There's, like I said, there's no right or wrong way. So I'm just cutting these strips. These are just extra strips. And I like to keep them because you never know how you're going to use them. You can use them in so many different ways. You can create clusters with them. You can stamp on them, collage, like so many different ways. All right, so I just want this at the very, very edge. Yeah, it's a little bit better. I'm using that other envelope as a glue paper just so that I don't get glue everywhere. Okay, and I really do. I love using packing paper because I like the brown paper and I like the texture, especially the crinkled paper. And you know, you could decorate these up. You definitely want to make sure you open it up, let it dry. I'm going to put that to the side. So this one is this one is an actual, you know, 2 pages, 4 pages actually. So I'm going to leave that one alone. Then I'm going to put these two together. Okay, let's use this little one. And you can use these too for when you're creating little journals. You can actually utilize these little strips of paper for tuck spots even. Like if it's really little. I'm going to do it this way because I started on that side. And it doesn't bother me that there's multiple colors either, because I like that. I like that we have here, this one. It may just have to be like that. I think this one was a little bit crooked. But again, that's okay. I love having the art glitter glue and the glue stick together because you can really get a great bond You could also use, I've used, which I started to, is Fabri-Tac. Makes it really, really nice and sturdy. So I think I like the skinnier one better than the wider one. But you can create stamp some images in there, and that's probably what I might do, just to kind of make it make sense. And they don't all have to be the same. Like, it's totally okay. It's totally okay, I promise. So, like, don't sweat the small stuff and just have fun. Use all of your scraps. Let me see. I'm going to cut this. I like using, you know, like a ruler, or sometimes I just fold it in half and cut things because I like the way that looks. And this paper ripped here, but like that's not going to matter because it's still going to glue. It's still going to glue the same. All right, so let me get this. All right, let's see. It is hot here in Kentucky. Let me know what the weather's like where you are and where you're watching from. If you've been watching the activities of today, like I said, this is a Crafty Bunch event on Facebook, and I happen to be streaming on my YouTube as well. I used to be really good. I used to do videos every single week, different tutorials, and I've gotten away from it. And so I'm just trying to create some content on my YouTube channel. I do have a Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. And I have a couple of TikToks actually. I have Lisa Boone Designs, but I've been mostly concentrating on my Love Local with Lisa. So if you want to follow me on there, I do reviews of small businesses and spread the word about small businesses. And sometimes I'll do a lot more personal stuff too. Like, we have puppies, which is so much fun. I didn't want to have another litter of puppies, but this is going to be our last litter. And they're so cute. We have 5. They're mini Australian Shepherds. And someone just came into the house. So hopefully you're not hearing the puppies bark. I want to know. Let me know if you heard them bark, because I bought this microphone. It is supposed to be noise canceling. We shall see. We shall see. I like to put my little stick in here right away so that it doesn't clog up. Okay, so let's see how we're looking. So now see, we have all these pages. I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna get them attached to each other, because I still have to have a few more, but I kind of want to see where I'm at before I put, like, you know, I have to put all of these together. So we had these 3 and these were doing well. Let's see. I think I want this kind of in the center. Okay, let's play with it and see what we like. I've got this one. Hello. Hello. He's not answering me. Because I didn't want them. I wanted to put this together and have it be random, and which this is looking really great. I like the way that this looks. And see, this is a way that you can create a journal, and it will open up nicely for you once I get the rest of them in. But see, the glue is sticking, and that's why I kind of wanted to take a minute and let it dry. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to create more spines here. Just going to cut. And if you want to cut these in advance, like the height of it, you know, go ahead and do that if that makes you happy. I'm just going to cut it off because I knew I'll have to trim it. Hey, Linda. Hey again. I knew that I was going to have to trim it. So I'm going to put these together and run my glue like this. And I closed this off. That wasn't smart. Okay. So I'm going to put this on here. Probably have too much glue. Okay. So the trick is, right? So it needs to go down like this every time, because you want like what, the mountain inside kind of, and the right. So when you open it, oops. So you want it this way every single time, because that is how it will open. And you want all of your edges to be as close as possible. Oops. So I'm going to open that up. See, now we've got our pages are attached. We have to attach this one now. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put these as close as possible. This one's a little bit crooked, it looks like. But we'll get it. We'll get it. We'll get it. This just helps. I like having both different glues. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel. Do you like only using one type of glue when you're doing this, or do you mix it up? I also really like to use the Fabri-Tac as well. It does a great job. This weekend we were in Owensboro, Kentucky, and we were at an expo, my husband and I, that we were set up at, and we had his business and my business together, so we got a double booth, and it was super fun. And we were doing I was doing the DIY hat bar that I have, and that was a lot of fun. I probably went a little bit too wide on that one. So again, I folded it in half, and the corner, the doubled corner, always goes to the spine. I don't think I was explaining that when I was doing it, so I want to make sure you understand that. And then I'm going to put some glue on this side as well. So we set up, and we had so much fun. We met a lot of people, and I was telling them about Fabri-Tac, because a lot of people have never heard of it, and a lot of people are not crafty. They're not crafty, and so they don't know about all of the tools. And so I let them know, like, Fabri-Tac is great for paper. It's meant for fabric, but 3-in-1 is also really great. But man, it does a mean job at putting a journal together. It is more expensive, so there's that, but it is fabulous. But so is Art Glitter Glue. The difference is that the Fabri-Tac is silicone based, and it doesn't wet your paper like art. And then once it sets, it sets. It takes a minute to set. I feel like the Fabri-Tac takes a little bit longer to dry, but it gives you that wiggle room. So if you make a mistake, you can reposition it. And if you're fast, you can reposition this too. But I really like this. So this paper is a little bit smaller. Okay. I like the different heights. Like, I really like that. And then I still have, oh wow. Okay, so we're going to do this one here. We're going to separate the pink. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So just a couple more. And then we're going to be done. And that's how quickly you can make a journal. Like, I was telling this little girl that I met, she likes art stuff, and I made her a really, really cool hat that she was like, oh my gosh, I get to wear this for hat day. And she was so excited, and I was like, you know, have you ever made a journal before? And she was like, no. I said, you actually can make your own journal. And she was like blown away. And so I told her to follow me on the Book of Faces, and that I was gonna be making some journals. Again, we are doing that friendship journal, which is so much fun. I can't wait. I think I received, while I was gone, I think I received the journal. I think I'm getting them from Patsy. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you for sprinkling. So I think my journals come from Patsy Ray. And so every month when we go on there, we send our journal to the same person, which I think was smart, like so smart. I think I'm going to, okay, wait, I'm going to make sure my pages are not sticking. You want to take a second when you're doing it this fast to make sure that your pages are not sticking. Because if it does, you know what? It's not the end of the world. If it does, it's just a thicker paper. And you could do it that way. You could very well do it that way. Okay, so we have this one is going to go here, and then we're going to put this one, and then we're going to work on the cover. So look at that. We're almost to the finish line. And you can embellish this as much or as little as you want. Like I said, this would be a great little gift for a friend. And I'm going back and forth, and I'm not even consistent with my gluing, but that's okay. It all works. And I had thought about how cool would it be to sew on it. So I might. And maybe not on this lab, but I might do that. Because I just thought this would be so cute. I'm thinking, again, a little girl, or the little girl inside of you, right? Okay, let me give this glue a little break. Oh, I have one more. I have one more. And I didn't even have that many pages. This, let me see. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to break this off. Let's see. This was just the papers that I cut off. So to make the shape, so you could have used all of those. And honestly, I could have changed it out, have different, using all the papers that I used to make the book. Now you guys are going to have to go to Marshall's and tell me if you find the napkin, or if you want some, I can put them in a pack. Let me know if you don't find them where you are. You can send me a message, an email. And all right, so again, that crease goes on the back side. And I'm just lining it up, making sure. So this is my last page. And make sure that they're all going the same way, right? That's the other thing that we have to be careful of. Okay, and so I think I'm going to let this rest. I've kept forgetting to make sure that my page is opened. If you have any pages that are not down well, that not, the adhesive didn't stick, then this would be the time that you could use one of these little things and squeeze them in there. Oops. I've got fabric. Okay. So this is what I want to do. And honestly, this is nice. This is nice and thick because I've inserted this thicker packing paper. Hey, Carol. This is just regular packing paper. This specialty packing paper that I got from, I don't know where. I can't remember. And then regular coffee dyed paper that I had coffee dyed a while ago. And now I'd pre-cut my envelopes, right? So we're going to make this into the cover. We're going to make this into the cover. But here's what we're going to do. I want, okay, so on this side and on this side, I want to put some sheet music, of course. I've got a crush on you, Linda Ronstadt. How awesome. Okay, so I think I want to do it this way. And of course, I'm going to have to cut it. So I'm going to do it like this so I can cut out a little bit extra. Okay, so this goes on top. We're going to glue this whole thing. Make sure you get, this is definitely has to get glued all the way. So if you just joined, we're making a little journal. Super, super fun. I'm just going to get all the edges. And normally I cut the edge of the bottom, you know, of the paper, but I'm not. I think it'll be fine. It's a little bit crooked. That's okay. All right, so I'm going to let that sit there, and then we're going to cover this side. I don't want Linda Ronstadt staring at me, so I'm going to put her to the back. And then I'm going to go ahead. And I did glue the inside of these together. So like I cut the envelope and then I glued it so that it would be one piece of paper. And I find that using envelope paper, like I said at the beginning, I like it because, let me see, do it this way. I should have done the other one that way. When you do that, that paper is so much more sturdy. And then when you glue it and add another piece of paper, it's even more sturdy. So I really like that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do on the, I might glue the insides. So I'm going to wait. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. I probably should, yeah, I'm going to cut this out. All right. I already see I've got to reinforce the very tip. I know I've got to probably fix the bellies up a little bit. All right. All right, so here we go. So this is going to be my cover. I love using sheet music, and this is going to be my back cover. So let me go ahead and you know, the name of the song is I've Got a Crush on You. It would be cool to cut that out and put that on the inside, right? When you give it to somebody, like, and then I don't know if you saw Kathy before me, she made this heart, and I think the person before her made a heart too. Like, you could take one of those projects and incorporate it, but look, you can cut this out, and on the inside it could say that. Oh my gosh, that would be so cute. So cute. So I could put this here, or I'm trying to think. I think I'm going to wait. Let me see. It's 4:42. Here's what we're doing. So these are my back covers. We have our cute little guy. Like I said, I don't like bunnies in real life. I feel the same way about birds, y'all. And I've talked about that before on a live. And the reason I don't like birds, I didn't know that I didn't like birds until I found out I didn't like birds. And it's because my ex-mother-in-law, she had a bird room. And she used the birds to kind of rehabilitate herself. She'd been really sick. Oh, I've been so thirsty. And she had a bird room and she was going on vacation, and she asked me, I'm going to rip these. She asked me to take care of the birds, and I thought, yeah, no problem. I love animals. I can do that. Yeah. Have your vacation, have fun, and I'll take care of the birds. It was a small room in her basement. Not basement, in the garage. She'd built a room. And it was ventilated and everything, but it was overwhelming because there were so many birds. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then when they would have babies, she would bring them inside, and or if she was nursing them for some reason, she would bring them inside and feed them this nasty, nasty food. It stunk so bad. And it was gross. It looked like mush. And oh my gosh, did I hate it. Hated it. So this napkin, again, I found it at Marshall's. If you want some, let me know. And I loved that it was die cut, and I loved that it was a cute bunny. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to use them, and I'm going to make some tags with them. But when I was sitting here, I'm like, I'm going to use this. I'm trying to decide if I want to do glue or if I want to. I'm going to do glue for right now. Because the other option was to, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do this. The other option was to use gel medium. And I like using gel medium with napkins, but I also like just gluing with glue stick. So the only thing is with the glue stick, you kind of have to know where you're going because you can't rip it up. So I'm just lining up. I'm going to hold it. I'm going to be careful with it. Get this down. It's a little bit off. It's a little bit off. Yes, I did it. Sometimes you can do that. All right, let me do it this way. Because I wanted him to be inside. There we go. Of the shape. You have to be careful with napkins, y'all. That was me wilding out. That was me wilding out. Okay. I see, the reason I put the sheet music is because you can see it behind. Now, I have this other napkin that I got, and I want to cut out some flowers, and I'm probably going to embellish around or maybe the inside. I'm not sure. But that is so cute. Okay, let's do that again. Let's see if we don't rip it. The good thing is we've got more. We've got more. It's just paper and it's just glue, right? Okay, so I'm just going to stretch this like I did. And when tissue is wet, you know, it's napkins, tissues, it's the most fragile. So that's why I like using this. This is wallpaper. So it's like felted, and then, you know, you could use it for other things. So I'm just going to hit this because it had glue, but then I moved it up. So you could, when you're done, seal this with the gel medium, and then it would be even firmer. But look at him. It is a him, right? Yeah, I think it's a him. Now I've got glue everywhere because I want to embellish the florals. Let's see. So while we let this glue dry for a second. Oh, I didn't glue that. I didn't glue it. It's okay. Okay, I'm going to cut these off. If you do these 2 at a time, it's probably better, honestly. But I knew I didn't have a lot of time, and I could make it work. But if you're a perfectionist, please cut these out carefully. I'm just going to do it. There we go. All right, so I need to now glue my backing. Let me know if you do try this, if you find the napkins, if you try this, and let me know how it works out for you. I would love to see a picture. Okay. So, you can do a couple things here. We're not putting on the cover until I know what I'm going to do. I kind of like the idea of the lace being in here, and you could glue this and then have that be a tuck spot before you put your journal, or you could put this way and have a little bit of lace hanging out. But for me, I'm going to do it this way. And that would hide a lot of your spine. And I think that would be so pretty to have on the inside. So, like that. But we also, I like to put closures. My daughter's like, why do you have to put a closure? Well, because when you start working in there, it gets really, really full, especially if you add tuck spots or add any kind of things to it, tags or whatever. So what I'm going to do is we're going to give them like a little belt. And sometimes I like to do it just like this and cut it, and then you can wrap, you can put a bow. Or sometimes I'll do it a little bit less on one side so that you could wrap it like that. So that would be cute. Let's look. And I like the idea of the gold coming out. I mean, this is a nice little book. This is a lot of pages. You could draw in it. You could just put notes, thoughts. You know, like I said, you could also put, let me throw this out, scriptures in there, grocery list. Give that to somebody that you love, a little girl. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we can tie it and have a good little bit, and then put this an hour, and you have a really decent size book. All right, let me cut this. So now I've got this left for another project. And we have 8 minutes left, y'all. 9 minutes. All right. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I love the paper sticking out. I do. So the only thing I think I want to do is I'm going to glue these 2 pages together. No, I'm not. I'm going to glue this. All right. Let me see. I'm going to glue this first. Hi. How are you? I have noise canceling, so hopefully they don't hear you. Trying to be sassy and pick me up. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it here. Bunny time, yes. Loving. Oh, thank you, Kathy. I think she's so cute. Well, I guess it's a he. It's a he, but I'm thinking this is for a little girl, you know, or a friend, your best friend, right? So I love the idea of putting, I think this is what I'm going to do. So let me get Let me see, I need to cover that. I'm going to, do I have enough paper? No. Let me see. I'm trying to see what I have. I guess we're going to use this. Let me, before I do anything else, I want to create a really fun inside. And this, again, this is junk. I put back a lot of junk mail or like utility bill envelopes. I put them back and I put them in a little container that I have. I should have done it this time. Hold on. The paper. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. So I have on my floor there, I have a container and I put a whole bunch of papers, you know, what you call it, envelopes. And sometimes I will keep like the marketing materials, especially politics stuff. It's really, or just like a really good company that has quality marketing. They will do those hard cardstocks. Those are great for tags. So like I'll keep them, but I like keeping a lot of envelopes because a lot of times I will make journals. And that probably would have been a great one to do to get rid of all of my envelopes because I have so many. Like I could have cut out all the envelopes, honestly. And I'm going to put glue here. So what I want to do is I want to embellish with this napkin on the inside. And we have 5 minutes. So I want to see what I can do in 5 minutes. But you guys gotta get the gist of it, right? So I always keep the insides. I always keep these. You can stamp on them, create your own decoupage paper. Or if something's too bright, like I showed a picture of the journal that I created for the friendship journal. I sent it to Dina Ray. So you're going to see her. She's going to show a picture of it when she does hers and show it. And she's going to show you what I did. I used this beautiful paper and it reminded me of the 70s because, you know, I'm in the vintage group. And then I started staring at it. Once I did my cover, I was like, it's too loud. It's just too much. And I didn't like it. So I put tissue paper down and it muted it. So, okay, I've almost got this. There we go. Be careful with this second layer because like if this one is breaking, this one is quilted. So if you can't separate it, if you just use gel medium, it'll go through both layers. But if you're just careful, you can separate it. But this one is breaking right there. So I'm just going to go with it because I won't need that much. But I love using napkins because you can do multiple projects with just one napkin. That's why when I create kits, the napkin kits, I only put one of each in there because usually you can do that. So the second, this one always has a ghost printing, usually has a ghost printing. I definitely like to keep those and I like to decoupage with them. This one is being funny. It's being difficult. But a good napkin has 2 extra layers. Some of the cheaper napkins only has, you know, the printed and the white. But a really good napkin will be 3 ply. Okay, let's see. This should not have taken that long. All right, here we go. Woohoo! All right. Okay, so I'm going to, oh, look how pretty. This speaks spring. And, you know, we had this major snow ice storm, right? And we were locked in the house for so long. And the ice would not melt because it was freezing weather. Now, we just had some heat and I've been sweating, but I've been ready for spring anyway. I've been like, where is the sun in the spring weather. And let me tell you, I'm sweating today. We were freezing when we went to the expo that we were set up at. We were literally freezing our tushies off. I usually don't do this with, I usually use this with a water brush, but I'm trying to hurry. And I kind of like the idea of it being kind of raggedy and bigger because I like it to stick out. Okay, so anyway, we were sweating, like freezing, and we were on the river where the hotel was and the convention center. And let me tell you, it was not nice. It was not nice. And so today, I'm like, what is going on? It was nice and hot, but the great thing is that the snow and ice started melting. It was literally so cold that on Thursday when we were packing to leave, it was hard to walk on the snow because it had all compacted and it was all ice. Have to go to work. Bye. Have a good night at work. Thank you for watching, Kathy. And and then when we were loading and unloading Friday, the wind was so intense. It was so crazy. And we were struggling. And then we were by downtown, so we were just walking to the restaurant, and I was like, and then Sunday, I'm like, this is how it should have been. This is doable. I'm good with this weather. And then we came home. I'm just gonna glue this like that. Some of the edges are coming up. Oh, look, you know what? I think I didn't take all the plies off of that one. That's what's going on. Yep. But this wet glue will get it all down. So this is my cover, but I think what I want to do is add just a little bit of those flowers on here. 1 hour, guys. 1 hour. You can do that. If I didn't even do the inside. Now I did pre-cut some of it, right? I did put it all together, but you could do this. And I didn't have to have that many pages either. So this would be super, super cute, don't you think? I'll take a picture of her when she's all finished up. I think I kind of want to do some stamping here on the bigger pieces. That would be cute. But look how cute that looks as the inside, right? And then we're going to add that lace too. So that is my project. I love that. Oh my gosh, I love the way that looks. And see, again, I just want to show you. You can see the sheet music behind it. That's why I like using the napkins. I do a lot of envelopes, a lot of work with layering the napkins with other papers. It just looks so good. And you could even continue layering, add something else, you know, if you wanted to. But this looks so good. And I like that sticking out. It looks old and vintage. This would be a great tag. This would actually be a great tag that you could put in a journal. And then we could have put a, think about this. We could add a tuck spot, and then you could have a journal spot. You could handwrite somebody a little note. You could put a little eyelet there and have like this ribbon sticking out. And, you know, that would be, oh my gosh, that would be so adorable. I'm definitely going to make more of these just like this. And you can handwrite people some notes, some thank you notes. That would be really nice. Handwritten notes. Oh, where it's at, y'all. All right, that's it. Thank you for watching. Make sure you go back to the Crafty Bunch and watch everybody's lives. It's a free group. We would love it if you would watch it. And I hope you guys have an incredibly